This is Medical Innovations, Original and Existing, Round 1 and 2, Advisor Orientation for the Alabama HOSA State Leadership Conference. Innovations. The original and existing, Round 1 and 2, will be ran at the same time. Thursday afternoon at 2:30 is when the competitors actually report. The event manager personnel orientations begin at 1:45. with the judge orientation starting at 2:10 p.m. Please see the competitive event schedule for your specific room assignment. The differences in the two types of innovations: the original, teams of 2 to 4 people will create an original medical innovation that does not already exist. And existing, the teams of 2 to 4 people will improve upon a current medical innovation. Be prepared to run the event. Round 1 is a preliminary viewing of the assembled innovations. Round 2 portion features the oral presentation. Plan to have 2 judges, but the event can be ran with 1. Advisors will be managing the event, and event personnel may include advisors with students in the event. How to prepare for SLC: print and review your event's guidelines. The event manager is responsible for coordinating the event, and they must report to headquarters to get the event binder. Event personnel should plan to meet in the event room for setup, and they should also start orienting the judges per the guidelines. Related to confidentiality, all advisors should complete the online confidentiality agreement before State Leadership Conference, found at the link here. Dana has already emailed out that form to everyone. A few hard copies are available in headquarters. This is of utmost importance in order to assure equity in future events. A reminder that advisors and students are not allowed to enter or observe an event other than their assigned one at any time for any reason. Pictures or copies may not be taken of events or event materials, skills, or equipment. Round 1 specifics. Plan to separate the original innovations from the existing in the room. The same judges can be used for both types of innovations, or you could put 1 judge with the original and 1 with the existing, depending on how many actually show up to judge. 2 to 4 member teams assembled their display within 15 minutes. The competitors are not in the room when the display is judged with the judges' combined rating sheet, where round 1 and 2 are combined. The A and B section of the rating sheet is used during that time. Round 2 specifics. All teams will participate in round 2 since the rounds are combined into one, and there are usually lower numbers in this event. Team members deliver their presentation during a 7-minute time frame. After the 7-minute oral presentation, judges have 2 minutes to ask questions, and C through E of the combined rubric will be judged during this section. Orientation is completed through this video. Binders should be picked up at headquarters. A separate binder video has already been sent out, so please view that to understand the contents of the binder. And the manager will receive the following at headquarters: a binder with event directions, competitor team list, scripts, judging rubrics or scantrons for the judges, event survey forms, judges' gifts. If the assigned event manager cannot attend or pick up the materials, notify Dana Stringer as soon as possible. Another member of the event team will be asked to attend, and it is imperative that someone be present to obtain the materials and any additional instructions. The event manager and personnel should be very familiar with Medical Innovations' original and existing guidelines and follow them precisely. After picking up the event binder, make a plan to orient the judges, separate the 2 types of displays and sections in the room, time the setup of the displays, complete the measurements, get students in the room, roll call, check IDs, orient the students. Consider where the students will wait their turn, in the holding area, or will they get appointment times. Check the dress code, guidelines, and keep judges on schedule. Suggestions: orient the judges to the rubrics and time limits of the event. Make sure they are familiar with the guidelines. Review the important points to be sure they understand. Review the rubrics and stress consistency. Each judge will complete their own rubric. They may come together and discuss rubric scores after all competitors have been scored. They must break any tie. They should not write notes on the Scantron rubric itself because that could make it where it can't be graded correctly. Use a notepad. Remind them they can't give advice to the competitors. Thank you is acceptable, good job is not. Advisors will notify the judges if the competitors did not follow the guidelines. Event manager and personnel suggestions. Each room will have a table outside the door. Check the roster, ID, and dress code discreetly at the table as they enter the room. If there is a dress code violation, keep it confidential. You're really discreetly checking the dress code because you may need a second event person to look at the dress and make a mutual decision. If unsure, err on the side of the student. If there is a violation, document it and the points will be adjusted at headquarters. A reminder that we're documenting these violations on the master summary form that was discussed in the binder video. The guidelines state that HOSA uniform or proper business attire is appropriate for this event. We're only having to document violations of the dress code. You don't actually have to check that everybody is in dress. It's an exception documentation. After the students have been checked in and are standing in the room, instruct the students to the process of the event, the order or appointment time in which they will compete. Instruct them about the holding area they will use if needed, answer any questions, send them to holding or instruct them to return at their appointment time for their presentation. Additional information, students will not know final results until the award session. We cannot give individual students or teams suggestions for improvement, but the judges can create a list of general suggestions that Dana can share with everyone after State Leadership Conference. Make this list of suggestions on the event survey. And just a reminder that consistency makes equitable competitive events. Keep the goal in mind. Our goal is to set an example of high standards and integrity for our students while being as fair and equitable as possible. These are leadership qualities we hope to instill in all our members. Be the example, conduct the event as you would like others to conduct events for your students. Grievances. If a student has a grievance, listen carefully. If you can fix the issue, fix it if it can be fair for all involved. If you're unsure how to fix it, or even if it needs to be fixed, refer to their advisor. They can bring the grievance to headquarters in a professional and confidential manner. Keep in mind that everyone is doing their best and that we are all human. When the event is complete, thank the judges, provide them with a thank you card that you will find in the binder and the gift that the manager would have picked up from headquarters. Gather all supplies and straighten the room. Complete the event survey. All event personnel, managers, and judges should complete the survey about the specific event. Refer to the event binder for instructions on what items should be placed in the front pocket. I do have one of the event completion sheets, which is like the check-in sheet, that will be in the front binder pocket to remind you of what items need to be accounted for. And the event manager or personnel should return the binder and all other supplies to headquarters. Thank you so much. We could not make Alabama HOSA State Leadership Conference possible without you.